I'm Barbara Smith, the author of The Recycling Occupational Therapist. This is a guide to making activities for developmentally disabled children and adults. And also, typically developing children might enjoy some of the activities that are described in this book. Visit my website at barbarasmithoccupationaltherapist.com to learn more about this book and many activities that you might enjoy making. Today I'm going to talk to you about making activities out of dishwasher, soap, and laundry bottles such as these. These bottles are great because the handles are designed to be easy and comfortable to grasp. They come in vibrant colors, they're free, they're readily available, and you are recycling when you're using them. The first thing you should do when you start working with a bottle is removing the label by soaking it in hot water for several hours and then scraping the label off with a butter knife. Some labels are not easy to take off, so you might want to just cover the advertising on the bottle with contact paper. I use leather shears such as these to cut the plastic, and once you start using these for cutting plastic, they will no longer cut anything else. And I also use a heavy-duty hole puncher, such as this, that can punch holes in the plastic, resulting in those little circles. The first activity that I'm going to show you is what I call the Velcro bottle. This is a great activity because it develops eye-hand coordination, and it also teaches children to stabilize with one hand while manipulating with the other hand. You simply attach Velcro to the bottle and to the little toy, in this case magnetic letters, that are pulled off and inserted inside. A similar activity is a shape sorter that again involves stabilizing with one hand, and the child can insert, for example, blocks inside the square shape that I cut out in the bottle. And in this case, I cut out a slit and lots of plastic, different colored plastic pieces that they can insert inside this opening. And notice it won't fit in a square, it will have to go into this type of opening. When my son was little, and I used to buy bathtub toys for him, I discovered that the toy boats were very similar to ones that you can easily make out of plastic bottles, except mine is more creative and more fun. I punched holes in it so he can lace string, and this particular sailboat I attached a lifesaver. And he liked playing with this in the tub, and he also liked playing with the whale toy that was simply cutting a whale out of a blue bottle, attaching a squirt type bottle through a hole in the center, and then he would play with it in the tub and just squirt with it. There are many activities that you can make with the flat plastic pieces that are cut out of the bottles. So let me first demonstrate how to even begin. You would take your scissors and just punch into a bottle and cut out a shape, such as this. I'm going to try to cut out a circle here. So, we have a nice flat green circle. The edges are slightly rough, but they won't harm me if I rub my finger along the edges. But I'm going to try to make the edges a little bit smoother in this way. Now they're so smooth, you can actually rub them across your skin and it won't harm you. Then, once you have a flat piece like this, you can bend it to make a cut such as this. I'm going to cut out another circle from the center. So this can be used as a stencil to put on top of a piece of paper, and the child can color inside the circle. You can have this child trace around the outside of the circle. You can even use this for a ring stack activity, such as this one. With this ring stack, it was simply made out of a bottle. I attached a long tube. These are sold to hold lighting fixtures. And this piece of plastic can just be a ring that goes over the top. And this type of activity is great for adults with developmental disabilities because they're forced to stabilize with one hand when they're putting the ring on. And they have to hold themselves up in order to reach the top, and it encourages visual attention to the activity. I also used for rings, this is the neck of a bottle. The bottle, such as this, I cut around the top, I call this a bottleneck, and it's very good for a ring stack activity. We'll add that to my ring stack. Going back to the flat pieces of plastic, there's lots of things you can make out of them. You can cut lots of shapes for stringing. You could teach children square, triangle, circle by cutting the different shapes and then punching a hole in the center. Children who need to develop their fine motor skills might benefit from having a larger circle inside the shape, and that's what's so great about making your own materials. You have control over the size that you're using. So in this type of stringing activity, I used yogurt covers and made a nice large hole, so this is really easy to string. I used fabric. I put duct tape around the edge of the fabric so it's easier to string. And this is actually made from the handle. I just cut it up into little pieces and I use it for stringing, and it's very easy to string. And again, this piece for stringing is made from the neck of a bottle, such as that one. And they are nice, vibrant, attractive colors. I cut out the letter B to reinforce the formation for forming a letter and turn it into a stringing activity. You can turn any flat piece of, I should cut myself another piece of plastic. Another large piece of plastic can be turned into a lacing activity simply by cutting the desired shape and then taking your hole puncher, punching holes such as this, and it can be turned into some type of lacing activity. If the child needs larger holes for the lacing activity, I bend the plastic and then you can make a larger hole. You can make the hole as large as it needs to be depending on the child's needs. So there's one hole, you can make another hole. You could use a very large piece of plastic and put large holes in it for a lacing or stringing type of activity. For someone who has pretty good coordination, this is more challenging. They have to fit these three pieces together to form the apple shape. They are attached to a larger apple frame and then they're laced in place. So that makes a nice craft activity. The holes that I showed you that are punched out of the plastic that make these nice little circles can be used in a craft activity such as the tree. This is the tree that I cut out of a bottle. I attached contact paper to the back and there's lots of holes in it, and this is going to turn into a Christmas tree, and children can take all those brightly colored little circles, push them into the holes, and they will stick because the contact paper is sticky. This works on the pincer grasp, which is really great. And another activity that uses the flat plastic is very simple. I just cut different colors, and using clips, they have to match the same color clip to the piece of plastic. And occupational therapists know that these are great for developing finger strength and coordination between the thumb side and the other side of the hand. So there's lots of uses for those flat pieces of plastic. Now I'm going to talk about the handles. Handles have lots of uses. You can attach a sponge to it and use it for sponge painting. You can attach bells to it. You can attach the string to a helium balloon. So a child with a weak grasp or a child with cerebral palsy who needs to grasp a larger area, who can't grasp a string, can hold this handle and can still wave around that helium balloon and still enjoy it. And another thing that this type of handle can be used for is in what's called the zoom ball or forward pass. This is made using 4 of those handles. I cut slits in the handles and pushed the cord through the slits and then secured them in place with duct tape. So I attached the handles to 2 pieces of cord. The cord is then slipped through this bottle, and then the ends of the cord are attached to 2 more handles. This bottle in the middle is made from 2 soda bottles. I cut off the bottom of the soda bottles, inserted one end inside the other, secured it in place, and these are the spouts to the 2 soda bottles. So it ends up looking like a football. Now my husband and I will demonstrate how the game, forward pass, or zoom ball is played, as he holds the two handles, he simply opens the handles, and I open my end, and he opens his end, and that shows you how the game is played. What's wonderful about making your own is you can control how long the cord is. The longer the cord, the more challenging. The shorter the cord, the easier it is. So I hope that you have enjoyed learning about these activities, and that you will certainly never look at a laundry or dishwasher bottle again in the same way. Thank you.